Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Ryan, I'm a CPA, and today I'm going to be talking about the child tax credit and how it might actually make you owe money back to the IRS. But first, of course, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and smash the like button if you find this video helpful. And of course, leave me a comment or questions below in the comment section, and I will do my best to respond to you there. All right, so in summary, what is the child tax credit? And what's the big deal for 2021? The child tax credit is basically a tax credit that you get for having a child. You know, and a child right now is defined as a person who is 17 years and under who can be claimed as your dependent. Now, for 2021, that credit actually increased because of the COVID relief bills. In 2020, the credit was $2,000 per child, and in 21, it has been increased to $3,600 for any children 5 and under, and $3,000 for any children between 6 and 17 years old. Now what happened in 21 is that in the middle of 2021, in July, people started receiving advancements of the credit. You know, before, because usually you claim the credit when you file your taxes after the year ends, but what's happening in 21 is that people were getting advancements of the credit, and then they're gonna have to reconcile how much they received when they do their taxes. And so the problem here lies in the advancement, because there could be a lot of issues that arise based on how much you received, how much you should have received, or how much you shouldn't have received. And then in which case you will have to pay back if you received the credit when you shouldn't have. All right, so let me just briefly again talk about the increases from 21 compared to the prior year. So again, prior year, $2,000 per child, and this is for all kids age 17 and younger. In 2021, we have $3,600 per child for kids aged 5 and younger, and then $3,000 for kids aged 6 through 17. And then the other dependent care credit, which is for anybody else, you know, your parents, or whatever, kids over 17, that still remains at $500 per dependent. So why is this important? Because in July of 2021, people started receiving monthly advancements of the child tax credit. You were supposed to receive half of the total credit for 2021. So that means if you had a 6-year-old, that means your total child tax credit should have been $3,000 for 2021. But starting July of 21, you're supposed to be receiving $250 per month through December. That means you're gonna receive $1,500, which is half of the $3,000 credit. The other half you're going to claim on your tax return when you file your taxes. You know, when you prepare and file your taxes, you're going to claim the other $1,500. Okay? Now, that right there already poses a problem, and it might pose a problem to some people who, you know, are used to expecting like a small refund, maybe a few $100, in that usually your child tax credit will be $2,000 when you file your tax return. But now it's going to just be $1,500 because you already received the other $1,500, you know, the prior year in 21. So now you're gonna get a $1,500 tax credit as opposed to a $2,000 tax credit. And if you're normally, you know, if you're normally expecting a small refund, maybe your tax situation has always been really consistent, hasn't been really changing, you know, and so you usually expect a small refund, and you've just been minding your own business, not worrying about the child tax credit that you've been receiving. Now you might actually owe some taxes because you're getting a $500 less of a credit when you file your taxes. Again, I understand that you received $1,500 beforehand, but if you weren't doing anything to like save money to potentially pay off some taxes that you might owe, then you're gonna be in for a surprise here, potentially. You know, the IRS did give you an opportunity to opt out of the advancements. Now, I did get a lot of complaints that the process to opt out was somewhat finicky and didn't work very well. For example, if you are a married couple, then both spouses had to opt out, and you know, potentially one spouse was having trouble getting through the system and couldn't do it, you know, verifying their identity. And so it was just kind of a mess, and a lot of people ended up with the child tax credit advancements that they didn't want. Now, if you are one of those people that did successfully opt out of the child tax credit advancements, then you don't have to even worry about this video. Like, you're gonna get the full child tax credit as long as they qualify when you file your tax return. One of the big issues I'm gonna expect this year during tax season are people who, are either separated parents or divorced spouses that alternate claiming their children, on every other year. So, you have wife claims kid on odd years, husband claims kid on even years. Now, maybe wife was supposed to get the child tax credit for 2021, but the husband received the advancements all throughout 2021. Now, what's gonna happen here is, since the husband doesn't actually get to claim the kid since it's an odd year, the husband will have to pay back all the child tax credit that he received in 2021, while the wife will get the full amount when she files her taxes. Now, this is gonna be a huge issue, because the IRS, I think, just used the 2020 tax year to determine who gets the child tax credit, who gets the payment for it, and all that stuff. So, and if you didn't do anything to opt out, if you didn't, voluntarily opt out, or if you didn't try to stop it from happening, then this is gonna cause an issue. So if you received the child tax credit when you shouldn't have, be expecting to pay it back, because this is not like the stimulus payment where if you received more than you should have, you don't have to pay it back. This is different. You do have to pay it back. Other issues that could arise is if the IRS tried to send you the child tax credit, but maybe for some reason it bounced on your ACH or your electronic funds transfer. Maybe it bounced of, just a few months or 1 month, or maybe they think they sent it to you, but you just never received any of it. This is gonna cause reconciliation issues when you file your taxes. And this is one of the reasons why some of the 2020 tax refunds were taking so long to be processed, because the IRS just has to manually check to make sure the amounts that people are claiming for their stimulus payment match what they actually received. If you didn't receive some or all of your advanced child tax credit, that's going to cause issues with your refund there. If you didn't receive some or all of your checks, if the IRS is sending checks, that's going to cause an issue there, because that's going to cause reconciliation issues. I've been having reports already that some people are receiving incorrect amounts reported from the IRS. So the IRS will send you a letter, or they should have already sent you a letter basically telling you how much child tax credit that they sent you. And some people are already reporting that they're receiving the incorrect amounts, which is not good. And of course, there's going to be some cases where you qualified for the child tax credit in 2020, and thus the IRS will send you advancements for 2021. However, maybe something happens in 2021 where you are now disqualified from claiming the child tax credit. Maybe you're making too much money now, something like that. That's going to cause some issues too, where you're going to have to pay back any advancements that you receive. That's all I got for today. Thanks for joining me. Again, this tax season is going to be a huge mess, just like the 2020 season. So be patient with your preparer. Make sure you come with all your information. Make sure you have all your child tax credit information. There was another stimulus payment that was actually paid out in 21, so make sure you have that information as well. And just be sure, to approach the season with flexibility and grace, because there is a lot of moving parts here. All right, so that's all I got. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and smash the like button, and stay safe.
I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a sticker. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flicker. Bill, I'm in the mood for a change up.